Have you ever imagined being swimming in crystal clear waters and suddenly realizing that you are not alone? What is something immense and lethal, observing each movement of its depths? Today, I will reveal the secrets of the 10 largest predators who dominate the oceans of our planet. And believe me, some of them are so scary that they will make you think twice before entering the sea again. Oceans cover more than 70% of the Earth's surface, and in their depths, they inhabit creatures that seem out of our worst nightmares. They are perfect hunting machines, shaped by millions of years of evolution. Each has developed unique and deadly skills to become the terror of the seas. And the most fascinating, we know only 5% of our oceans. Imagine how many predators are still out there waiting to be discovered. Before we dive into this terrifying journey, let me tell a story. In 2019, a group of marine scientists was exploring Marianas' Pit when their equipment captured something impossible. Clicks from a depth where, theoretically, no marine mammal should arrive. The sounds were similar to those of cachalots, but they came from 11,000 meters deep. To this day, no one knows what has produced these sounds. This is the kind of mystery that the oceans still keep. Starting our list at number 10, we have a predator that many underestimate, the root fish. Do not be fooled by the harmless appearance of this master of disguise. Wakefish is considered the most poisonous fish in the world. Just imagine, it is completely motionless at the bottom of the ocean, looking exactly an algae, covered rock. Its 13 dorsal pimples contain such a powerful poison that it can kill a human being in less than 2 hours. What makes this predator even more frightening is its infinite patience. He can spend days in the same position, waiting for an unsuspecting fish to pass close enough. When this happens, the attack is so fast that even high-speed cameras can capture perfectly. In just 0.015 seconds, faster than a blink of an eye, he opens his mouth and sucks his prey like an underwater vacuum cleaner. But here is the most disturbing detail. The stonefish does not use its poison to hunt. He reserves him exclusively for defense. This means that all this deadly toxin is there just waiting for someone accidentally step on him. Experienced divers report that the pain of his poison is so intense that victims beg to have the affected member amputated. In 2018, an Australian surfer named Jake Morrison stepped on a shallow fish. He described the experiment. It was as if 1,000 egg-baked needles were tucked at my foot at the same time. The pain went up my leg like liquid fire. I could feel my heart accelerating uncontrollably. I thought I was going to die right there on the beach. Jake survived, but spent 3 months in rehab and still has occasional pain at the bite site. The rootfish has another fascinating feature. It can survive out of water for up to 24 hours. That's right, this poisonous predator may be waiting on a tide puddle, completely exposed to the air, and yet remain lethal. Fishermen in the Philippines tell stories of stonefish that return to life hours after being considered dead, hurting people who handled them. But the real terror of the rootfish is in the numbers. It is estimated that more than 1,000 serious accidents with pedestrian fish are occurred per year. Especially in Indo-Pacific, many cases are not reported because they occur in remote areas. On some Indonesian islands, stepping on a stonefish is considered a curse, and local shamans still practice old rituals to extract the poisonous spirit of the victim. Now get ready, because the number 9 of our list is a creature that challenges everything you think about knowing marine predators. The blue octopus may fit in the palm of your hand, but don't be fooled by the size. This little creature carries enough poison to kill 26 adults in minutes. The most fascinating about this octopus is how he warns his victims. When threatened, your blue rings shine like neon, a mesmerizing visual warning that is actually your last warning. Go away or die. Its poison contains tetrodotoxin, the same substance found in baiacu, but at much larger concentrations. To be more specific, a single octopus azuis carries 50 milligrams of tetrodotoxin, and only 2 milligrams are enough to kill an adult human. What few know is that this octopus has surprising intelligence. It can solve complex problems, open vials, and even recognize human faces. In an aquarium in Japan, a blue octopus called Koji learned to distinguish between his keepers. He showed his bright rings to strangers, but he remained calm with the daily staff. Imagine a killer the size of a golf ball with a dog's intelligence and the ability to remember who you are. But the real terror begins when you find that there is no antidote to your poison. If you are bitten, paralysis starts in minutes. You remain conscious but unable to move or ask for help as the poison paralyzes your breathing muscles. It is a silent and terrifying death. In 2021, an American tourist in Australia posted a video holding a blue octopus, not knowing the danger. The video went viral not for the beauty of the creature, but for the horror of the comments of marine biologists explaining that she was literally holding death in her hands. Luckily, the octopus didn't bite her. She later said, "I thought it was just a cute pole vine. When I discovered what could have happened, I couldn't sleep for weeks." The Obstor octopus happy has another dark secret. They are opportunistic cannibals. When food is scarce, do not hesitate to devour others of its kind. Researchers have observed females eating males after mating, not by hunger, but apparently to ensure that their genes are the only passed in that area. It is natural selection in its most brutal form. Going up to number 8, we find the mako shark, the ocean sprinter. While the large white shark gets all the fame, mako is secretly more dangerous in many ways. This predator can reach speeds of up to 70 km/h, making it the fastest shark in the world. But this is only in a straight line. In short explosions during hunting, makos were recorded reaching an impressive 80 km/h, but speed is just the beginning. The mako shark has a unique feature. It is warm-blooded. That's right. Unlike most fish, it can regulate your body temperature, keeping it up to 10 degrees above water around it. This gives you superhuman reflexes and incredible resistance. Your heated muscles can contract 3 times faster than those of a cold-blooded shark. Professional fishermen have terrifying stories about makos. They are known for jumping up to 9 meters out of water when hooked, sometimes falling into the boats. In 2019, on the coast of New Jersey, a 3-meter mako jumped inside a fishing boat, seriously injuring 2 fishermen before returning to the sea. The boat captain said, "It was as if a bomb had exploded on the deck. Teeth, blood, and panic everywhere." What makes mako truly special is his predatory intelligence. He not only pursues, he anticipates. Studies show that makos can predict the movement of their prey and intercept them as a chess player calculating several plays ahead. They were observed by creating traps when chasing cards, forcing the fish against the surface where there is no escape. Makos also show dangerous curiosity. Unlike other sharks that avoid boats, makos often approach to investigate. They were filmed by testing the resistance of kayaks with exploratory bites, and there are reports of makos that follow boats for hours, occasionally giving spectacular jumps as if they were showing their athletic capacity. A scary detail. Makos has such a high metabolic rate that they need to eat about 3% of their body weight daily. For an adult mako of 500 kg, that means 15 kilos of food a day. They are always hunting, always hungry. A shark expert described, "A mako is like a Formula One car, incredibly fast but always needing fuel. If you are finding it impressive, wait until you know our number 7. Barracuda may not have the reputation of other predators on this list, but ask any experienced diver and they will say, "A lonely barcudid is scarier than a shark should." With teeth that look like cereal knives and a jaw that projects forward like a trap, the barracuda is built for a single purpose: cut. Their attacks are so fast and accurate that many victims report not having seen the fish. They just felt the surgical cut in their meat. An adult barracuda has 84 sharp teeth like razors, arranged in 2 rows. When one tooth falls, another grows in its place in a matter of days. Barracuda has a disturbing obsession with bright objects. Watches, jewelry, even metallic teeth can attract your deadly attention. In 2020, a diver in the Bahamas had his engagement ring torn along with part of his finger by a barracuda that confused the shine of the diamond with the scales of a fish. She survived but said, "It happened so fast that I didn't even feel pain at first. I only saw the water turning red and my finger, it wasn't there anymore." But here is the most disturbing fact. Barracudas are extremely curious. They follow divers for long periods, always keeping the same distance, observing. This behavior is so common that it has a name: barracuda stalking. The feeling of being observed by those cold, calculating eyes is something no diver forgets. Barracudas are also known for their torpedo hunting technique. They accelerate out of nowhere, cutting their prey in half with surgical accuracy. High-speed cameras revealed that a barracuda can accelerate from 0 to 40 km/h in less than a second. It is like being hit by a living saw. There is a documented phenomenon called barracuda frenzy that occurs when multiple barracudas detect blood in water. Unlike the food frenzy of sharks, which is chaotic, the barracuda's frenzy is organized and methodical. They take turns attacking, each taking their part with accurate cuts. Witnesses describe how watching a team of surgeons dismantling something systematically. By the way, if you are enjoying discovering these fascinating secrets about marine predators, leave a like here in the video. This helps the channel a lot to grow and motivates me to bring more amazing content like this to you, and you can be sure the next predators on the list will make you even more impressed. Your like makes all the difference for more people to discover these mysteries from the oceans. Arriving at number 6, I present to you a kind giant that hides a deadly secret, the Jamatole. With a wingspan that can reach 9 meters, it looks like a colossal ghost sliding through the waters. But do not be fooled by the majestic appearance. Under this elegance, there is a formidable predator. Jamanta has a sting at the base of the tail that can pierce the hull of small vessels. The poison contained in this sting causes such an intense pain that victims describe how to be burned alive inside. Steve Irwin, the famous crocodile hunter, lost his life to a smaller stingray, showing how lethal these creatures can be. The sting of an adult Jamanta can be up to 40 centimeters in length and is covered by a poison sheath that ruptures the impact, ensuring maximum damage. The most impressive about the Jamantas is your intelligence. They are one of the few animals that pass the mirror test, recognize their own reflection. This puts them at the same level of intelligence as great primates and dolphins. Imagine a predator the size of a self-awareness school bus. Jamantas also demonstrate sophisticated cooperative hunting behavior. They work in groups to create chains and vortices that concentrate plankton and small fish. But when threatened, they can use these same tactics to disorient predators or too close divers. Divers report to have been swallowed by vortices created by defensive jams, spinning wildly until they are spit out. In 2018, researchers found that jams have mental maps from their territories. They memorize each coral, each current, each power point in areas that can cover thousands of square kilometers. A marked Jamanta called Big Bertha was tracked by visiting the same 47 power points in exact sequence over 3 years. But the most mysterious behavior of Jamantas is their lunar jumps. On full moon nights, groups of up to 100 jams were observed jumping out of water in sync, creating a show that looks like choreographed. Scientists do not yet know the exact purpose, but they theorize that it can be a form of long-distance communication. The sound of impact can be heard underwater. Jamantas also show empathy, something rare in the animal kingdom. There are records of gadgets helping divers in trouble, guiding them to the surface. In a famous case in Mexico, a Jamanta was between a diver and a tiger shark for more than 20 minutes, using its massive size as a shield. The diver said later, "I could see her eyes, she knew exactly what she was doing. She was protecting me." In number 5, we have a creature that looks like an exit from a science fiction movie, the giant octopus, with tentacles that can extend up to 9 meters and strength to crush anything in its way. This is the largest octopus in the world. But the size is just the beginning of what makes this creature extraordinary. Each of its 8 arms has about 280 suction cups, and each suction cup can raise up to 16 pounds. Do the math. We are talking about a creature that can literally exert tons of strength. Divers report the terrifying sensation of having an arm proven by a giant octopus. Suction cup marks can last weeks, looking like giant cigarette burns. But the true giant octopus weapon is your brain. With 500 million neurons, dogs are about 530 million, they demonstrate problem-solving that challenges our understanding. 2/3 of these neurons are in their arms, meaning each arm can think independently. It's like having 8 auxiliary brains. In an aquarium in Seattle, a giant octopus named Houdini was famous for his night escapes. He learned to open his tank inside, slide the floor of the aquarium, enter other tanks to eat fish, and return before dawn. The employees only found out when they installed cameras. But the most impressive? After being caught, Houdini learned to turn off the cameras before his escape. The most disturbing? Gigant octopuses are masters of mimicry beyond imagination. They can change not only in color but also in texture and even in shape, creating protuberances on your skin to imitate rocks, corals, or algae. Experienced divers tell stories of rocks that suddenly came to life and grabbed them. Our diva described, "I was supported by what I thought was a rock 10 minutes ago. When she moved and wrapped me, I almost had a heart attack." Gigant octopuses also show behavior that can only be described as vengeful. In a documented case, a captive octopus learned to identify a treater he didn't like. Every time she passed her tank, he hit her with a precise water jet. He never made a mistake and never hit other people. When she was transferred and returned to visit a year later, the octopus immediately recognized her and soaked her again. But the most alien aspect of revolving octopuses is their ability to edit their own RNA in real time. This means that they can change how their genes are expressed based on the situation. It is like rewriting your own instruction manual while being used. Scientists believe this contributes to their incredible adaptability and intelligence. Now get ready for number 4, because this next predator is responsible for more fatal attacks on humans than any shark, the water crocodile. Yes, you heard right. This prehistoric reptile is not limited to rivers and can be found in the open sea, swimming between islands. With up to 7 meters long and weighing more than 1 ton, the water crocodile has the strongest bite ever recorded on any living animal, 3,700 psi. For perspective, this is enough to crush a human skull like a grape or bend iron bars. Your teeth are not made to cut, but to arrest. Since your jaws close, it is virtually impossible to escape. These crocodiles are known for swimming hundreds of kilometers in the open sea. They were found on beaches over 1,000 kilometers from any river. They have special glands that filter salt, allowing them to survive indefinitely in the ocean. Fishermen in the Philippines report finding crocodiles resting in their boats 50 kilometers from the nearest coast. What makes these predators truly terrifying is their memory and learning ability. They memorize routines from their prey. There are documented cases of crocodiles that expected at specific points where people used to look for water, attacking the exact moment the victim became more vulnerable. In Australia, a crocodile known as Sweetheart learned the tourist boat hours and regularly ambushed them at the same point as the river. But here is the scariest detail. Unlike most predators who kill hungry, water crocodiles are territorial to the extreme. They attack anything that invades their territory, regardless of whether they are hungry or not. A dominant male can control up to 50 kilometers of coast, patrolling regularly and attacking intruders, including other crocodiles, sharks, and yes, humans. By 2020, a water crocodile was filmed attacking and killing a 3-meter brain shark in Australia. The crocodile didn't eat the shark, just killed him and left his body as a warning. Biologists interpreted this as territory demarcation. It is the aquatic equivalent of leaving heads in piles. Save-water crocodiles also demonstrate supernatural patience. They can be submerged for up to 7 hours, completely immovable, waiting. Their heartbeat can fall to 2 to 3 per minute, entering an almost hibernative state, but they may explode in action in fractions of a second. Surviving victims described that they saw nothing. At a moment they were in the water, at the next they were being dragged into the depths. And speaking of mysterious depths, which of these predators do you think is the scariest so far? Comment down here. I always read your comments and get impressed with the stories and experiences you share. By the way, you would be surprised by how many people have had close encounters with these creatures. Tell us, have you had any experience with marine predators? Even if it was just a fright on the beach, share it with us. We have reached our top 3, and the bronze goes to a creature that is a true paradox. The orca, also known as whale assassina. Despite the name, orcas are actually dolphins, the biggest dolphins in the world, and they are undoubtedly the smartest predators of the oceans. Orcas have the second largest brain among marine mammals, losing only to the slope. And show culture. That's right, culture. Different groups of orcas have distinct languages, unique hunting techniques from generation to generation, and even specific eating preferences. There are orcas that only eat fish, others only marine mammals, and they don't mix. It's like having convinced vegans and carnivores in the same species. Some orcas specialize in hunting sharks. They found that turning the shark upside down induces a state called tonic immobility. Essentially, the shark enters a coma, so with surgical accuracy, they remove only the liver, rich in nutrients, leaving the rest of the body. In 2017, in South Africa, 2 orcas nicknamed Porto and Starboard killed 8 large white sharks in a week, eating only their livers. The other sharks fled the area and did not return for months. Others have developed the technique of the cooperative wave. They work as a team to create waves that drop ice block seals. The necessary coordination for this is comparable to a soccer team running a rehearsed move. They swim in perfect formation, creating a wave of up to 1.5 meters that sweeps the seafront. The most impressive, they practice with objects before trying with real prey. The most impressive about orcas is your ability to teach. Mothers were observed bringing wounded but alive prey to their puppies' practice. It's like a live hunting school. In Patagonia, orcas teach their puppies the most dangerous technique, the intentional bellies. They throw themselves on the beach to pick up sea lions, a maneuver that can be fatal if poorly performed. Puppies practice for years before trying alone, starting in shallow waters and gradually going to more dangerous beaches. Orcas also demonstrate what can only be described as sadism. They were filmed playing with their prey for hours before killing them, throwing seals in the air like balls, passing among group members as a macabre game. Scientists debate whether this is training, fun, or something darker. But the most disturbing behavior of orcas is their ability to psychological war. Orcas groups were observed surrounding larger whales and their puppies for days, not attacking, just vocalizing and creating waves. They exhaust their victims psychologically before the final attack. Grey whales in the Pacific have changed their migratory routes to avoid known areas of orcas, showing generational memory of trauma. In captivity, orcas demonstrated manipulation capacity that scares. An orca named Kasatka has learned to use dead fish like bait to attract seagulls, creating their own fun. Another, called Keto, learned to imitate coaches' commands to deceive younger orcas. It is intelligence being used for purposes that we cannot completely understand. The silver of our list belongs to the great white shark, the most iconic predator of the oceans. With up to 6 meters long and weighing more than 2 tons, this is the nightmare that inspired an entire generation to fear the sea. But the big white is much more than the killing machine portrayed in the movies. Your senses are supernatural. They can detect a single drop of blood diluted in 100 million drops of water, equivalent to a drop in an Olympic pool. Its Lorenzini ampules detect electric fields as weak as those generated by the heartbeat of a fish hidden in the sand 30 centimeters away. It is like having a sixth sense that reveals the exact location of any living being nearby. If you are enjoying discovering these amazing facts about ocean kings, subscribe to the channel. We have new videos every week exploring the most fascinating mysteries of nature, and activates the bell not to miss any content. Your inscription helps us continue bringing these amazing stories of the most impressive predators on the planet. What many do not know about the great white is their ability to learn social. They were observed teaching hunting techniques to each other. Young sharks follow experienced adults, learning the best hunting routes, such as identifying weak prey and even avoiding human traps. It is a form of education that we thought was exclusive to mammals. Recent studies with tracking tags have revealed something surprising. Large whites have cafes, meeting points in the middle of the ocean where hundreds of them gather. White Shark Cafe between Hawaii and California is visited annually by sharks traveling thousands of kilometers to get there. There, they demonstrate behaviors never seen elsewhere: quick and repetitive dives, complex swimming patterns. Scientists speculate that it can be a place of mating or some kind of social event that we do not understand. But the true terror of the great white is in its patience and strategy. They can follow trapped for days, keeping in the depths, waiting for the perfect moment. Its attack comes from base, up to 40 km/h, hard enough to throw a 3-meter seal into the air. The physics of the attack is perfect. They calculate the angle, speed, and timing with mathematical accuracy. Great whites also show curiosity that goes beyond the predatory instinct. They investigate strange objects with what scientists call exploratory bite, a kind touch to determine if something is edible. Unfortunately, when the object is a surfboard with a human, even a kind bite of a great white can be fatal. The most fascinating is your memory. Large whites recognize individual boats, specific divers, and even respond differently to people who have found before. A researcher in South Africa worked with the same big white, nicknamed Submarine, for 8 years. The shark recognized its boat and approached calmly, behavior that did not demonstrate with other vessels. But there is one side of the great white that few know. They can be fearful. Yes, the ocean predator is afraid. When orcas appear, large whites flee immediately and may not return to the area for months. In 2019, the sudden disappearance of large whites on the coast of South Africa was a mystery until they discovered a pair of orcas had arrived. Fear is so intense that it affects the entire local population. And now, the moment everyone expected. Predator number 1 of the oceans. But before revealing, let me ask, do you think you know what it is? Many would think of the white shark, others on the orca. But the true king of the oceans is a creature that combines colossal size, extraordinary intelligence, and incomparable power. The cachalot. Yes, the largest predator with teeth on the planet. Males can reach 20 meters long and weigh 57 tons. But the size is just the beginning of what makes this creature the supreme predator of the oceans. Cachalots dive into depths of up to 3,000 meters in search of their favorite prey, giant and colossal squids. These epic battles in the abyssal depths are worthy of legends. Cachalots emerge with suction cup scars the size of dinner dishes, evidence of squid fights of 15 meters or more. Some scars suggest meetings with even larger squids than science has not documented, but the true weapon of the cachalot is his sonar. The stillation of a cachalot is the highest biological sound on the planet, 230 decibels. For comparison, a rock show has about 115 decibels, and 150 decibels can break their eardrums. This click is so powerful that it can stun or even kill prey. Divers report feeling these clicks crossing their bodies, a sensation described as being radiographed by sound. Some describe instant nausea and disorientation when exposed to clicks closely. The brain of the cachalot is the largest of any animal that has ever existed, weighing up to 8 pounds, 6 times larger than the human brain. They demonstrate complex culture with distinct regional dialects. Family groups have unique vocal signatures, such as sound surnames. Caribbean cachalots speak different from those of the Pacific, and when groups they meet, there is a period of translation where they adjust their clicks. But what really puts the scale on the top is its absolute dominance of the most extreme environment of the Earth. They hunt in the full darkness of the abyss, using so precise echolocalization that they can distinguish between types of squid by the density of their bodies. It is like identifying different fruits in the total dark only by sound. Stories of 19th century whalers are terrifying. The Essex, inspiration for Moby Dick, was destroyed by a slope that attacked the ship repeatedly until it sinks it. Survivors reported that the cachalot seemed to calculate where to reach to cause maximum damage. It was not an accident. It was a deliberate and strategic attack. Cachalots also show behavior that challenges explanation. They were observed by adopting strange objects, from trunks to fishing nets, and carrying them for weeks. Some speculate that it is a form of mourning, as this behavior often follows the death of a member of the group. Others believe it can be a form of art or expression we do not understand. The most extraordinary is the cachalot corner. In addition to the echolocation clicks, they produce complex standards of sounds that last hours. Some scientists believe that these songs contain complex information, possibly stories, ocean sound maps, or something completely beyond our understanding. One researcher described, "It's like listening to alien language. There is structure, there are standards, there is clearly communication happening, but we are centuries of understanding what they are saying." E aqui está o fato mais humilhante. Cachalotes podem viver mais de 70 anos. Alguns indivíduos podem ter mais de 100 anos. Imagine as batalhas, as jornadas, os mistérios que um único indivíduo testemunha em sua vida. Eles podem ter memórias de oceanos antes da poluição industrial, de abundância de presas que não existe mais, de um mundo que mudou drasticamente durante suas vidas. Ao longo deste vídeo, exploramos criaturas que desafiam nossa imaginação. Desde o pequeno mas letal polvo de anéis azuis até o colossal cachalote, cada predador representa milhões de anos de evolução, aperfeiçoando a arte da sobrevivência. Eles nos lembram que, apesar de toda a nossa tecnologia, ainda somos visitantes em seu mundo. Esses predadores nos ensinam lições importantes. O peixe-pedra nos mostra que o perigo pode estar escondido à vista de todos. O tubarão-macô nos ensina sobre a importância da velocidade e adaptação. A orca demonstra que inteligência e cooperação podem superar força bruta. E o cachalote? Ele nos lembra que há mistérios nos oceanos que talvez nunca compreendamos completamente. Mas também há uma mensagem urgente aqui. Muitos desses magníficos predadores estão ameaçados. Mudanças climáticas estão alterando as correntes oceânicas das quais dependem. A poluição por plástico está entrando na cadeia alimentar. A pesca excessiva está eliminando suas presas. O grande tubarão branco, por exemplo, tem uma população estimada em apenas 3.500 indivíduos em todo o mundo. O cachalote, antes caçado quase até a extinção, ainda se recupera. Cada um desses predadores tem um papel vital em seus ecossistemas. Eles não são monstros, são reguladores essenciais da vida marinha. Sem eles, os oceanos entrariam em colapso. Tubarões controlam populações de peixes doentes. Orcas mantêm o equilíbrio entre espécies. Cachalotes transportam nutrientes das profundezas para a superfície através de suas fezes, alimentando o fitoplâncton que produz metade do oxigênio que respiramos. Se você chegou até aqui, é porque compartilha dessa fascinação pelos mistérios do oceano. Por isso, convido você a se tornar um membro do canal ou usar o botão Valeu Demais para fazer uma contribuição. Qualquer valor ajuda a manter esse trabalho de pesquisa e criação de conteúdo. Com seu apoio, posso trazer ainda mais vídeos explorando as maravilhas e mistérios do nosso planeta. Cada contribuição, não importa o tamanho, nos ajuda a continuar revelando os segredos mais incríveis da natureza. A verdade é que conhecemos mais sobre a superfície de Marte do que sobre as profundezas dos nossos oceanos. Estima-se que 91% das espécies marinhas ainda não foram catalogadas. Quantos predadores incríveis ainda estão lá fora, esperando para serem descobertos? Que adaptações impossíveis a evolução criou nas partes mais remotas e profundas dos oceanos? Recentemente, câmeras nas profundezas capturaram criaturas que desafiam classificação. Lulas com tentáculos que parecem chamas, tubarões que brilham no escuro, peixes com mandíbulas que se deslocam para fora do corpo. Cada expedição ao abismo retorna com evidências de que nossa compreensão dos limites da vida está errada. E não são apenas novas espécies. Comportamentos que achávamos impossíveis estão sendo documentados. Cooperação entre espécies que deveriam ser inimigas. Comunicação complexa entre animais que pensávamos serem solitários. Migrações que cobrem metade do globo por razões que não compreendemos. Os oceanos estão mudando rapidamente. A temperatura está subindo, a química está se alterando, as correntes estão mudando. Como esses predadores vão se adaptar? Que novas estratégias de caça surgirão? Que antigas técnicas serão perdidas para sempre? Da próxima vez que você olhar para o mar, lembre-se, sob aquela superfície aparentemente calma, existe um mundo de predadores incríveis, cada um com suas próprias histórias de sobrevivência, inteligência e adaptação. Um mundo onde a morte pode vir de qualquer direção, a qualquer momento. Um mundo onde a evolução criou máquinas de matar perfeitas, mas também seres de inteligência e complexidade surpreendentes. E em algum lugar nas profundezas, neste exato momento, batalhas épicas estão acontecendo. Um cachalote está lutando com uma lula colossal a 2.000 metros de profundidade. Uma orca está ensinando seu filhote a caçar. Um grande branco está patrulhando seu território. Um polvo gigante está resolvendo um problema que desafiaria muitos humanos. A vida continua, como tem continuado por milhões de anos. Nós, humanos, somos recém-chegados neste planeta azul. Os tubarões existem há 450 milhões de anos. Os polvos, 300 milhões. Eles sobreviveram a extinções em massa, eras do gelo, impactos de asteroides. E agora enfrentam seu maior desafio: nós. A escolha é nossa. Podemos ser a extinção que eles não conseguem superar. Ou podemos ser a espécie que finalmente aprendeu a coexistir. Podemos continuar temendo esses predadores, ou podemos respeitá-los pelo que são, coabitantes de um planeta que é mais deles do que nosso. Obrigado por embarcar nessa jornada incrível comigo através dos reinos dos maiores predadores dos oceanos. Se você gostou deste vídeo, compartilhe com aquele amigo que ama os mistérios do oceano tanto quanto você. E não esqueça de comentar qual desses predadores mais te impressionou. Você tem alguma história de encontro com vida marinha? Até a próxima aventura. E lembre-se, o oceano guarda segredos que ainda nem começamos a imaginar. Em suas profundezas escuras, criaturas além da nossa compreensão continuam suas vidas misteriosas. Quem sabe que predadores ainda estão por aí, esperando para serem descobertos? Que adaptações impossíveis a natureza ainda está criando nas partes mais remotas dos oceanos? O mistério continua e sempre continuará. enquanto houver água nos oceanos e curiosidade em nossos corações. Os predadores que exploramos hoje são apenas o começo. O oceano é vasto, antigo e cheio de segredos. E os maiores predadores? Bem, eles estão lá fora agora mesmo, vivendo suas vidas extraordinárias nas profundezas azuis do nosso planeta. Até o próximo mergulho nas profundezas do conhecimento. Continue curioso, continue explorando e nunca pare de se maravilhar com os mistérios do nosso incrível planeta azul.